Hello guys, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good morning. So we are just before in class. Kindly send reminders to your classmates to join. Let's give them some time to join. Okay, where are you people? 2 more minutes and we'll start. Let's give them 2 more minutes so that we know that we waited for 15 minutes for them.
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. So in our previous class, sorry, in our previous class, we talked about wireframe, and after doing our wireframe, we went further to now look at some of the principles, some of those things that you would always encounter or that you always see during the design process. So in this class now, we are going to actually look at, before you start designing, those things we learned about, from colors to fonts to all of that. You need to set them and save them as your styles before you be able to design, because you don't just start designing, it will make your work harder and all of that. So we'll start by creating a style guide today, and from style guide we'll now implement it in our designs. So let's assume that I want to do something. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. So let's assume that I want to do something related to food. This is, so the first thing I'll do is, I like doing this because it helps a lot. So you can, if you click on this arrow that you can see here, this drop down, toggle drop down up and down, you see you have different pages. So let's imagine that you have for free version you can only use 3 pages, and you have, what's it called, you have more than 3 things you want to design. Like, you want to design your homepage, you want to design website, you want to design mobile app, and you want to design more. So what I do mostly is I click on the first page. Now where you have first page, I'll name it to assets. So this is going to be my asset panel. So anything I want to use, from colors to all of them, that's what I'm going to use. So first off, let me go to Google and look for a logo. Okay, so let me look for a logo that I can use. I just need a simple logo. Okay, so let me just go with this one. I'll go with this one. So I'll copy it. It's not very clear, but it's something that I can use first. So I'll come here and let's paste it. So I'm going to, this is not clear. I don't know why it's not clear. Let me use this page. Logo. The first one is not clear. That's why I'm not going to use it. Oh, okay. So let me delete this one and bring this one in instead. Okay, so I have this logo. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the background. Remember what we talked about using remove.bg. So I would remove the background and guys, please confirm that you can see hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Oh, all right. So the background is removing. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. So I'm trying to run remove.bg so that I can remove this background. Okay. So I don't know. This has not worked. Let me run it again. Oh, I have to set API key. This is going to be, so I'll just have to do it like this. Or I have to look for a PNG logo. I can't set API key currently because of what I'm using. So let me look for another logo. All right, so I'm going to use this, but I have a disadvantage. I'm only going to use it when I'm using a white background because of because I can't remove the background
The call is breaking
from
now.
here directly.
It's breaking. We can't hear you.
Except I have to save it and use remove.bg in my system. So yes. So Okay. So let's we have
Hello, Ma.
our
Your voice is breaking. I think you have issues with your network.
hello, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we
Hello.
can. We can.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right, so let's say I've gotten my image right now. All of these steps is remember that I've been saying that design is like the last thing you do. You get to do all of these things. So I need to get my colors, like primary colors and secondary colors first of all. So I'm just going to pick this first, and I'll pick my primary color from this. So I might get to use this as my primary color, and then I might get to use this as my secondary color. So these are the color I mostly need for my design. So now, what is a style guide? A style guide is a collection of styles. That means everything that you want to use for your design. Now, it's not enough just doing a style guide. You need to save all of that for you to use it effectively for your designs. So now I have this, I have that. How does a style guide look like? Let me show us what it looks like. Style guide. Nigeria internet. Nice one. Okay, so this is how a style guide looks like. Let me look for one. So these are like examples of style guide where you have your primary style, you have your text style, you have all of your style. So let's go back. Now that we have this, I'm not going to draw a frame. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you, Boma.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please, because of how bad network can be, once you can't hear me, just let me know. And okay, So the next thing I'm going to do is to pick up a frame, and I'm going to make the frame a desktop frame. So now that I have the frame, I will now start one after the other, one after the other. So the first that I want to have is my colors. So I'll come here and I'll see color style. You can anything you want to name it of that. Then I'm going to increase and so this is my primary color, right? So I'm going to just put it like this and see this is my primary color. So now I want to have more colors for my primary color, right? So what I'll do is I'll do right click and I'll go to oh okay, sorry guys. So please where did you hear and stop? Hello?
You were talking about your color. You the last thing you said that this is my primary color.
Oh, okay. So I said I want to have different shades of my primary color, right? So I'll go to this plugin. I'll just right click and I'll go to this plugin that's called Tint and Shade. So you just come to manage plugin and once you get there, you just type Tint and Shades. Remember when we talked about color palettes where we said you need to add tints and shades, like we need to have all of those things. So I'll just type the tint and shade and wait for it, then I'll run it. Okay, so I said for style guides, you can go on Google right now to browse what the style guide looks like. For style guide, you have mostly your color guide, you have your typography, you have your spacing, you have your icons, all of the icons you want to use for the design. You have all of that. So now what you need to do is to start saving these colors that you have or bringing them out so that you can effectively use them in your design. Did you get that? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay. So now this is my primary color. And remember where I got the primary color from? I got it from my logo. So if you have an already existing logo, you can just pick your primary and secondary color from there. That's if they use more than one color. But if they are using one color, let's say they use black and white in their logo, all you need to do is conduct your research, know the color that is particular to the industry that what you're designing is. If it's food delivery industry, you can search about food delivery industry. I know the color that they use there. You can pick that as a primary color. Then go to color.co to select a secondary color that you can use to add to your color palette. So now I want shades of this, and I'll go to plugin. Then I would come to manage plugins. The plugin I want is tint and shade. So this is it, tint and shade. So I'll just run the plugin. I'll just run it. Okay, so I need to select the rectangle. So after selecting it, I'll just click on create from selected rectangle. And then it's going to create different colors for me. So you can see that it created different colors for this my primary color. So I'm just going to something is wrong with this text. So do you know why do you know the reason why this is like this? I'm going to tell you the reason now. So let me go back. This my box is small, so I'm going to increase it. Once I increase it, I'll go back and run my tint and shade. So you can see that it's bigger now. It gave me all the color that I want to use. But then you can decide to create them like this. You can decide to keep them like this, or you keep them vertical. Sorry. So let me arrange them one after the other. And then so I'll just arrange them this way. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So I'm just arranging it like this so that I don't take a whole lot of space. Because I still need to have more colors. So this is my base color, and I can reduce my base color to trying to reduce. I hold down control so that it doesn't, yeah. And I can now do I can now bring this down. Okay, so next thing, this is just for one color, right? Um I can actually do this thing like this, not stress myself. This is just for one color. So let me just so it's not even compulsory that you use all the color that the tint and shade gives to you. You can decide to choose one or two of it and just leave it there. So let me drag all to the top because this is wasting my time now. So something like this and then bring them closer to each other. Can do this for this. Can see that there's no more space to contain this because it's too long. So let me just look for the ones that I won't use. So I think I won't use from oh sorry. I won't use from 50. I think I'm not going to use from 50. So I'll just delete this. So I just need the ones I'll use. I don't think I'll use 70. So let me get 80. It's not all the colors I'm going to use. So in order for me not to make this whole thing too long, I've deleted some that I don't need. All right, so I have this percent and I have this too. So the only reason why I'm keeping from this, let me see if it's still out. Okay, so I'm done with I have my family color now. Now the next thing is I can still do the same for my secondary color. Now one thing I need to do is I need to now write I need to now so this I'm going to bold in it. I'll make it a bold text. Then I'll duplicate this and to bring it down or I'll bring it up anyone. And then I have to now reduce the size to like 14 and make it irregular text. And I'm going to now write that this is our family color. These are primary color from here to here. These are primary color. Then primary color. So I can still do the same for secondary color if there is any need to have plenty variety of it. But if there's no need to have variety of it, I'll just look at this, expand it like this, and then I'll bring this down, and I'll say this is my secondary color. But if you want to have more of it, you know what to do, right? You go to tints and shades to have it. So now that I'm done, I can decide to, I'll group these two, Control G, and then I'll start duplicating them. So after my primary color, I need to have my normal color, which is black and white, right? So I'll duplicate these two. I'll duplicate it like this, and I'm going to call this my black color. I will need to have my white, and I'll need to have one more color, which is my gray. So all these colors can be set to be your normal abstract colors because you need them. So I'll now start selecting them. For my black, remember what I said, no pure black. So I'll look for any other color that is not pure black. This is it. Then for my whites, look for pure white or any color close to pure white. Now for white, you can see that you won't be able to see it. So I'll just add a stroke to it. And then for my gray color, I would come here and I would choose a gray color. Do I like this gray color? I don't know. So I'll add a stroke to it so that I know that that's my gray color. I don't know if this gray color is good. So, but then I can get gray online. You can get gray online or you choose anyone. So now I'm done with this color. Remember that we have one more set of colors to do, and those colors are called our accent colors. They are our accent colors. So I can still, I think there's no need to put it on a different line. So since this is already long, let's just make do with this particular line because we have more things to add. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I have more things to add. So instead of making it different line, I can just keep all of it here. So the next color should be my my alert. So this should be my warning color. No, is it warning or danger? There's a name, danger or anyone. So I'm just going to pick so I'll just pick my red color. Red. So let's say this is the red I'm going to use. Then I'll pick my warning color, which is mostly orange. So I'd say orange. And then I'll pick my success. So this is warning. And success color, that's my success color is green, right? So I'll pick my green color. Pick my green color from this. Okay, so let's say I'm done with my color. Now, how do you do it? So the next thing I'm going to do is I need to save all of these colors, right? I need to save them. So it's not enough having them like this. How do you implement them? But let's finish with our style. So I'll duplicate this and I'll come here and I'll say this is my typography. Okay. All right. So now I'll say this is my text style typography. Now the next thing I'll do is I'll duplicate this and um so what type of text do you think you would have at every point in your design? So first one, this is a mobile app. So let's say we are doing good. Let's add this. Let's say mobile, and this for my mobile. So I'll duplicate it. For my mobile, the first text or the first kind of typography you need to have is can you guys hear me please?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
ma'am.
Oh, okay. So let's suggestion of text that you can have. So if you're a front end developer or you've done one of those things before, you know that you have header text. So you can now start with your header text. So let's go and let me zoom in. So I'll start with my header text. So my header text, what font size do I want it to be? Okay, so the different types of text that I want to add. So after header, remember that they used to have header one and header two. So I will just say this is H1. So I don't like so many plenty names. So I'll say H1 or header text one, header text two. So for my header text one, I can decide to say, okay, my header will be 20. That's my first header will be 24. So let's make it 24. So this is my first header. And for my header, I need to have different variation, right? No, not 72, please. That one is web when you're doing web. So so let me move this here. Mobile, and maybe let me remove it from bold to medium so that we know. So for my header text one, I'm using 24. And this is going to be bold. So I'll say header one bold. Then I'll still duplicate it and I would have header text as regular. Regular. Same for regular font, I'll make it regular. So then I'll do the same for my next header text to header two. And I'll make this bold too. So for my header two, this is 24, this is 20. So I'll duplicate it and I'll do the regular version of it. Um, make it regular. So my font, the font that I'm using is Inter. So I'll just leave it like that. Header text two, this is regular. The next one is after your header text, what text do you have again? You have your normal, your regular text, or should I call it your any name you want to call it as far as you understand it. So I'll just say regular. So this is my regular text. Regular text. Let me have the bold version of it. So this I'm going to make it 16 or 40 bold, and I'll make it bold. So there are some that you can have a medium variation of your fonts depending on what you want to do. So let me duplicate it and say this is my regular text. This is my regular. Then I can still have more text, which is my buttons. So let me see my button text, and I'm going to name it button. Button text. So for my button text, I'll make it this is 16. So let me do 14, and I'll make it bold. No, I'll make my button medium. So I'll make it medium. So this is my button text. What other text do you think we've not added here? For what to use? Guys, suggest you guys have been seeing. But what other text do you think we need to have here?
Maybe for images or something, like image text. For
So
like
maybe
if the image did not load on time and there's like an alt text behind or something.
Oh, okay, yes, yes. So let's do that. Control D. Let's see. So what size should that be? So that the least size I'm going to have here is that should be like a 12, and I can also call it my link text. So I'll make it regular. So now let's say I have all of my text for mobile. So when you go to web, you still do the same. You still get to do the same thing. If you get to web, you would get to the next side and do the same thing. But should we just do for web? Let's leave this here first. So now the next thing I'll do is I've gotten my text. So I'll come to Figma again, figma.com, and I'll go to Figma. I'll go back to Figma. And I'll come to community. I'll come to community, explore community, and I want to bring in something. Um, I want to bring in like um, icons. So I'll come here and I'll type view. I think it's view sacks. So let's look for it. I don't even know which one to choose. So you can come here. So anything you need, you can come to community. And did you guys see how I got to community?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So nice. So while we have our typography from your header 1 to your header 2 to all the ones you want, you can come and get icons here. So, but there's a particular icon plugin that I like right from time. So that's why I had to come to it. It's view sacks. So this is it, view sacks icon. You can download from here or you can get. So I want to stop sharing my screen now, of course. Can you guys hear me? I want to stop sharing my screen. I want to put in this view size icon down to Figma from an organization page.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the Figma link so that you guys can copy the few sats to use whenever you want to use it. You get. So I want to like save it the stress of looking for a very good icon pack to use. So let me stop sharing my screen. Okay. Okay, so you guys can see on the right.
Yes, we can still hear you.
Yes, mom, we can hear you now.
Alright, so this is it. So now I can share my screen. I've gotten it, so I'll share the link on the chat so that after the class, so that you can copy it and use it to do what you want to do. So this is the icon pack. Let me zoom into the icon pack. You get to see that you have different icons from money to videos to arrows to type to be able to see it here. And
Oh man, your
then
screen
I'll
isn't
start
showing yet.
using it. Okay, so now that I have it, I just yeah. So for this,
I hope you keep it.
hello guys, I'm back. Sorry, Nigerian network is dealing with me today. All right. So can you see my screen now?
It's still loading.
Okay, so okay, my screen is showing now, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for some people, what they do is for this typography, you can decide to put the size here. So let's say, for instance, I want to do something like this. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put the size so that you can all actually write it here by using slash. So I can just say slash 24. Then what's the line height? The line height is 29. So you can decide to put it there. So this is just for formality or for you to know what the fonts that you are using, the size 24 pixel. And so let me just add all to it slash this is 20 pixel. So this is slash 20 pixel. So this I now know the normal name to call it body text. So yeah, this body text, the size which size is this? Size 16 pixel. So for our regular too is okay. So this is our body regular slash this is 16 pixel, and these are button text that's 15 slash 15, and these are link text. This is slash 12. So now I have all of this text, and I have my icons somewhere. So these are my icons. I decided to keep my icons separate. you can see the icon separately. But then you can still bring all of them. So let's say I want all of them, but there's no need for bringing all of them into this space. So I'll just leave them here. Now the next thing is, for our style guide, we are trying to do everything. When I mean everything, all the assets that we would need. So there's something we call components. So I hold down control to drag this down. Hello? Hello, guys. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Ooh. MTN network is really dealing with me. Spectranet is dealing with me. Can you guys hear me? Like,
Yes, we
I'm
can.
really sorry for all of this. All, um, uh, our, like I said, there's something we call components. Now, what are components? Components are like reusable assets that we use during our designs. Now, let's say we have different things like drop down, you have checkbox, you have forming cubes, you have buttons. So we'll do all of those things right now. So the next one we'll do is we're going to create a component for our text field. So I'm going to call it our text field. So let me say our text field. These are text field. Now, what do we need in our text field? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a box. Okay, so I was thinking we should first of all save what we've done so far before we come to text field. Now you get to understand why I want us to link text or input text, right? There's one more text we did not do, please. Let me duplicate this, Control D, your text. So for this, I'll make it 14. So okay, guys, please just give me 2 minutes. Let me swap my SIM so that I don't get to leave again.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you. I had to switch network. All right. So like I was saying, we need to. I said we need to save all these ones that we've done so far, right? So that when we are creating other things, it will be easy for us. So now we have our colors. So we'll start by saving our colors and how we would want it to be. So I'll start with my primary color. Let me start with my primary color here. So where's my primary color? Hey, guys, we have deleted our primary color. So I've even forgotten the color we used, man.
I think if you run tints and shades on the 50% color, you should be able to get the base. The base would be the 60%.
No, it's going to give us this back. So, but then let's just use anyone here. Let's just assume that, okay, I can get my color back. This is where I got it from, so I'll be able to get my color back. So I just need to get it back from here. So this is the color. Control C. So let me bring it back here. So I'll just get to do this. And, so first thing first, so this is how we are going to save them one after the other. So we don't need to save all of this, right? But we'll save few. So I'll come here and I'll save this. Can you see this part of my screen where you have 4 dots? So that's what I'll do. I'll come to style, I'll click on it, and then I'm going to see, you see this plus. So I'll just add a plus to it, and you will see the style. So what is the name of this style? I'll say this is my primary color. So you can add a description when you want to. What is it used for? For all my primary buttons, primary text, and all of that. But I'm not going to add any description, so I'll just leave it at create style. So you can see that I have it here as my primary. Now the good thing about this is, if I use this color different place and I want to change it, I can just come here and change, and everything I have will change with it. So that's my primary color. So I'm going to have this. So I might take this one and save this one as my text color. So I'll just click on the color itself, and then I'll do the same thing plus, and I'll say this is my text. This should be my text text primary. Text primary, right? So I'll create it. And then the same way you come to you get to do all of these things. So I'll come here and I'll create this as my, let's say, background color. Create it. Then just be creating it as, I'll just be creating all. Come here and I'll do the same thing. I'll say secondary color. So the next thing is I'll create my black text. So I'll create my black and I'll call it black. So just name it what you can remember. Black, then I'll come to this. I'll just be saving all. White. This is my white. So let me hide this and save just my white. White. And this is my gray too. So I'll save it. And then this is my danger or error color. It's called error. So I'll just save it as my error color. And I'll save this one as my warning color. And I'll save this one as my success. So I've created all my color styles. You can see my color styles just the way you have them here. You can see them here all listed. Now I'll come to typography too, and I'll do the same for typography. So for typography, I have my bold first. So the same place, the same way we did that, that's the same thing I'm going to do. First, is there any question on how I save this? Is there any question? Oh, okay, so it's clear. So I'll come to my Tolu, your hand is up.
Yeah, sorry, I do have a question. It was concerning the typography. So in the situation where you have users who have, well, I don't want to say they have poor eyesight, but they can't really see tiny text and they need to increase the font size. Is there like, is it a situation where we need to like make a different typography style for them, or is it the phone that's going to automatically just increase the font of everything on the page that they would be viewing?
So you see, one good thing about this is that there's something we call design for accessibility. So when you're designing, you're putting everybody into consideration. You're putting the deaf, you're putting the blind, you're putting the dumb, you're putting all of them into consideration. So if I'm deaf, and I can't hear, and your platform is a audio platform, you know that you now have to do transcribing for those set of people so that they can be able to see what you can be able to read what they have in the audio. So same thing applies to it. So that's why I don't use the smallest font. Now, sometimes you're done with the designs, they will come back to you and tell you that you should rework on the font. I like this happened to me yesterday. So I did something for mobile view for my designs, and then after it came out on code, like the live design, we noticed that the font was very small, and I used 8 pixel because I was designing a mobile view. That's the website, the mobile view of the website. I used 8, so it was so small. I had to go back to readjust all of them to 10 and 12 respectively. So when you're designing, you consider them. That's why if you can see, my list text here is 10. It's 12, sorry. I don't have 10 because of those set of people. So no matter how they are people that I can't see, 12 is something that is big when you code it. All right, so now we'll come to our typography part. So someone said the person is confused. Who is that? Any, you're confused. You can ask what part or where exactly are you confused, so that I'll get to talk about that. Hello. So I did not pick colors from the library. I saved the colors. How did I save it? I saved the color by just, let me save one more. I'll come here, click on the color. You see these 4 dots? Just click on the 4 dots. And then you see a plus, click on the plus. And just type the name of the color. So what should I call this color? Primary 50. So then you create it, that's it. And it will appear here. So what you are doing is saving this color. All of these colors that you've listed out, you are now saving them so that you can use them well. So the next thing I'm going to do is now is to save my text. So I'll still come here where I have these 4 dots. I'll click on the 4 dots and I'll create my style. And then I'll start naming this. This is my header one. Header one bold. We no need to do header one, header two. Just do header slash bold slash 24. 24 pixel. Create it. I'll come to the next one. So let me copy this first. Control C. So I'll come back here, do the same thing. You can see that it has saved. I'll come back here, do the same thing. I'll paste this one. Header slash regular 24. And I'll create it. I'll do the same for this. Control C. I'll same process. Same way you created your text. Header slash code create. So I'm just copying this name here because I don't want to waste more time typing them from start. Okay. Header bold, header one regular, header two bold. So which one am I supposed to save that? Not save. Okay, this one. Control C and go back to styles and paste it 20 pixel like that. I'll just save them. I'll paste it and do the same for all. And now I'll take the last one. Okay, so I'm done saving it. You're lost. Please, where exactly? Where are you lost? Where exactly are you lost, please? iPhone. When I started saving the text. So you saw when we saved the color, right? The same way I saved the color, that's how I saved the text. So what I did is all of these text that I've created, I just saved it by clicking on it, coming to these four dots. On these four dots, once I clicked on it, I just saved it. So I clicked on it, just need to, once you click on it, you would see the text. You see that four dots. Let me detach. Which one did I detach now? This first one. So I'll copy it back. So this is it. You see these four dots. You click on the four dots and then you click on this plus icon. So after clicking on this, you just save. You either type it manually or you just copy and paste what you have here, and you create the style. That's it. And you click on create style, and it will create. So that's just what I did. All right, so is it clear? Okay, so let's move on. I said we need to now create our text field. So what is our text field? Our text field is so let me make this a 45, sorry. I'm going to make it a 45. So if you're trying to create a text field or a button, it should be about 45 to 60. Okay, so this is it, 45 today. So I have this. Now the next thing I'll do first is I'm going to either add a corner radius, like say 5, or is 5 too much? Let's see. Let's see if 5 is too much. Let me just make it 3. All right, so this is it. Now the first thing, remember that there are things that used to be inside of a text folder. First of all, this is going to be, I'll add a stroke, and this is going to be there will be no column. Now this is where all of the things that we've been doing so far, it's going to take effect. So let's say I type something here and I say this is placeholder. You can see that I just picked any text and I typed it. This is placeholder. And then I'll come here. Let me drag it down a bit. Okay, so that's placeholder. Now the next thing I need to have is a label, right? So I'll just duplicate this, Control D, and is there any question for me? And I'll take it off, and then I'll type this is my label. This is my label. So I have all of these things, and there's one more thing I need to add, man. I need to add the Control D again, and I need to add like a status. You know that if there's an error, I need to add something. So let's say status. So are we clear to this point?
Yes, we are.
Yes,
So let
ma'am.
me hear from others too.
Yes, we are.
All right. So now that I have this, so this is how you would now get to remember that the reason why you're creating all of these things is to use them. So this is what I'm now going to do. Where I have label, remember that we saved our label text for it to be bold, Abby. So I'll come to this font. Now when I see this 14, I'll click on it. And then I would find that text that we've saved as label. This is it. And I'll put it. You can see that I've gotten my label. My label text has gotten what I want to do. But you can see that the color is black, right? Now I would still go back to color, and once I click on it, I'll change it to my main color, to my black color maybe. So I'll make it my black color, and that's it. I'll come to this. what's my placeholder text? That's the link text. What's my link text? My link text is the 12. So I'll look for the link text and I'll apply it to it. You can see that it just reduced the text by itself without me doing anything. Then I'll come to my status text. Okay, let me change the color too. So for the color, let me see which color I'm going to use. Should I use gray? Okay, gray is not going to show. So I'm going to use black. For this black, so that means I need to have one more black. I need to have one more black. So let me duplicate this my black. I'll duplicate my black. And then if I want to add a black, you can see that it's black there. So I'll just detach this. It's either I detach it or I come to this place where I have black and I click on it. Then I'll click on this edit style. So under edit style, I can edit this to be like the 40. So I'll now say this is black 40. That's black 40. So I'll now come here and oh, the thing changed with everything. It changed with this one. So you see what I'm going to do now, guys. So because I don't want it to change with this one, what I'm going to do is I'll come here and I'll detach it. So you see, I'll come here. Once I click on the color and I have the color, I'll just detach it. You can see detach style. So once I detach it, I can now make my changes to it and say maybe this is 60. So let's see how 60 looks like. This is 60. Then I can now save this one itself to be black 60. So for it not to affect the first color you took it from, you need to detach it. So now I can come here and instead of this black, I would get to like see, let's see how the black 60 would work. So the black 60 is better. So for this for my outline too, I'm going to now take it to black 60. So you see that I've gotten my first button. Then for my placeholder, have I changed it? No, I've not changed it. So I'll change my placeholder to still be link text. Link text. And then you can put any text you want to put here. Any text you want to put. So that means if it's a success, the text here would have a success message. Then if it's not a success, it's going to have this. So now that I'm done with this, I have to do this. I have to do this. So I'll then come here and I'll do this. Control G. And then I'll come here and I'll do the same thing. So instead of I'll do this. But then there's one more thing I need to show us. So we are going to be taking them one after the other. We are going to be taking them in. It's no, it's so it's called auto layout. Hmm. Systems. Never know. Okay, so now what is auto layout? Auto layout is something that allows you to automatically resize what you're using for your design. So auto layout allows you to resize it. When do you use it? You use it mostly when you want to, if you want to align and all of that, you use it. Now, if you come to this part of the screen, right, you can see auto layout. So once I click on plus, oh, sorry, I need to explain first before putting it. Remove auto layout. So if you come to this part of your screen and group, I need to ungroup everything back. Okay. So let me click out. Let me click on this. You can see I want to use something else to explain it. So let's just assume I write something and say Boomer. Okay. So once I click on Boomer, you'll be able to see where did this thing go to? This is it, auto layout. So once I click on text, I should be able to see it. But if I can't find it there, if you can't find it there, what you need to do is to right click. So once you right click, you will see add auto layout. How do you add auto layout? Is shift and E. So if you want to add auto layout, you just have to use shift and E to add auto layout. So once you click on your shift and E, you can add auto layout. So once I click on shift and E, I've added auto layout. Now if you come to this part of the screen, you can see different things. Now this is our vertical layout. Let me show you how vertical layout works. So I have these two and I decide to control T again to duplicate it. So after duplicating it, I have two things here. So let me put color so that we'll see what we are doing. Let me add a color to it. So let me add this color to it so that you see what we are doing. So now I have these two things. If I click on Shift and A, remember that to add auto layers, you need to use Shift and A. So if I just click on Shift and A, you can see that we have two auto layouts, right? So once I click on this auto layout now, it's going to bring up these things. Now this is vertical layout. If I want to make this horizontal, because I used auto layout on it, I just need to click on this and it will come, everything will come horizontal without me stressing myself, right? Now the next one is wrap. Wrap is going to help you if you have different elements, you can wrap it together. So it does almost the same function as this. Now we have our alignment tab, just the way you have it here. This is aligning it to the top. This is aligning it to the top, center, top, left. Okay, top right. This is middle left, middle center, middle right. This is this, that. So you can only, let's say I have these two things inside now. I can only align these two things. I can either align the text to the top or all of that. Now this is the spacing between each element. So if I come here and I increase this, you would see that the space between them would increase. If I come and I reduce it, the space within them will reduce. Then this is your padding and your margin. When we use auto layouts to create our button, because that's what we are going to use to create our button, you would see the padding and the margin, how to use it. Now, if you click here, we have more feature or more things that you can do. You can make an element to include in layout. You can make it outside layout. You can bring, let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have something like this. You can make the first one come to the back, and you can make the back last one come to the top like that. Then you can align to the base and all of that. Then we have resizing feature for auto layout. We have what we call the fixed height, fixed width, all content. So once you use all content, you want everything to all right. So we are going to do this in depth in physical class because that's going to be more you get to understand it better. Because I can be going around to show us how we're doing it, but just take the one that we need for today, which is Shift and A to add auto layout, then to change the horizontal dimension, to change, because you can use auto layout to create so many things, tables, you can use it to create cards, you can use it to create all of those things. But let's leave it at this. So let me delete this. Now that we are done with this, let me delete this. So why I wanted to show us that is because I want to add auto layout to this thing. So I can say Shift, hold the three together, and I'll just add Shift A and ensure that it's aligned to the side. So we have the space between them 7, so I can make it 5. You can see that I've added the space between them. Now this is where the main thing comes in. We have been talking about components. So is there any question so far before we move?
Excuse me, ma.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to take you back. What are we sorry, what are we trying to achieve by all this, the color, the text, everything, header? Like we are trying to set up our stuff for designing, right?
Yes, you're trying to do your setup because it's
So,
all of these things that you use to design. Without these
but,
things, there's no design for you.
but as a professional, do you really need to do this?
Yes, you need to do it. So you know why you need to do it. You might feel like you don't need it until when there's a mistake and you've designed up to 20 screens. I was telling you about how I did what's it called? I did a mobile screen design, and um when I did that mobile screen, the font size was small. I used 8 instead of 10. I used 8 instead of 10, and I used 10 instead of 12 when I was supposed to do 12 for Eda. Now, because I did not have all of these things, do you know that changing it on the screen, I had to do them one after the other? You get. But imagine that I have, let's say I have 5 of these buttons, or I've created 10, and then they now say this text is small, this text inside is small, and I need to change it. What I'm just going to do is I just need to come here and adjust the size. I just need to come here. Where is it? Come here to this place and adjust the size from 12 to 20 or to another size. And all, let's say 30. This is 12, right? Let's say 30. You can see all the text that I have linked with it changed. So you see that for me to do that, for me to be able to, what's it called? For me to make that correction, I would have just done it in one sitting. But it took me 2 hours because I did not create a style.
So what is this called now? Like this level
This is a
stage?
style.
Like what
This
we
is
are
a
doing?
style. It's called a style. Because what you're working with is a style.
Okay,
So
thank you.
even if your primary color should change, your company decides to change their color from, you know that companies do rebrand, right? They rebrand most times. You can see Twitter rebranded from blue to black. And just imagine you're the designer and you don't have a style. Just think of all the screens that you have to correct and make them black. So that's it. Now, so now that I've created this first one, now the next thing I'll do. Hello, do you have any question? Is there any other question?
Yes, yes, but so you said that having a style makes your work to be consistent. So does it mean that by creating this style now, you can just duplicate everything instead of doing it one by one? Or is that what you mean, ma?
No. You have to set them one by all these styles are different styles, you know, right? They are not the same style. This 24 and this
Yes.
24, they are not the same. The difference is both. So you can't just be duplicating them, you have to create them. But now this is
Okay,
another
ma.
thing, a component. Now I need to create a component. You get to see it when we now start. I would get to that point where we now start using these styles. So I think after the text field, the next thing we'll create is just the button, and then we would be done. I think so. We'll create a button, and after the button, we can now do anything we want to do. There are more like drop down, you have drop down, you have checkboxes, radio buttons, calendar, all of those things you can create them as styles. But let's just focus on few ones today, and in our next class we'll look at it. So now let's say I've created this thing, and I want to now start doing different variation of it. So I'll come to this part where you have create component, and I'll create component. Remember that I said a component is reusable. So after creating a component with this, I can come here and I'll name this component to be our input input field input. So now I have the input field, or let me complete it to input field. So I have my input field, right? So the next thing I'll do is I will now add this where you can see properties. I'll click on create properties and I'll add a variant. That's the second version of it. You get to see why this is important to do. So once I click on add variant, you would see that it added the next one. So what am I going to do with the next one? I'm just basically creating different styles of this. Now for the next one, I can decide to now hide this one. I don't want this one to be there. So I'll click on it. Is there any question? I can see a chat. Okay. So I'll click on it, and you can see I'm going to hide it. That means I'll close it. So you can expand this, impute, you can expand this thing to any direction that you want. Oh God, this screen is. So you see how I'm going to be creating different versions of our impute field. Now the next thing I'll do is I've created one. Now I can create another one with, oh, I made a mistake. Well, let's continue. So I'll create another one. I'll duplicate it. Now for this one, I'll come in here, right? And I'll come to my assets now, where I have assets, right? I'll right click. Remember that we brought in some icons. You see where I'll see all my icons. If I come here, I'll get to see all the icons I brought in. So let's say this is a sign up screen. I'm just going to use any icon, right? Because of we can change it at any point. So let's say, let me use this icon. So I'll bring this icon. I'll just bring this icon, right? So now that I have the icon, so I'll just bring the icon and I'll place it here first. So I'll cut it, sorry, Ctrl X. Then I'll double click on this particular rectangle. I'll be sure that it's the rectangle that is selected. So I'll click on the rectangle, then I'll paste that icon inside the rectangle. So I have it inside the rectangle now, right? I'll just bring it in to where I want it to be. What happened? iPhone. Please, who is iPhone? Call your name so that you're lost. All right, so let me go back. I would have to start back. So please follow this time around. So first of all, let me be sure that I've arranged this icon. So you've filled different forms, right? You filled different forms before. And these forms that we filled before, they are like when you're filling form, right? There are some places you get to, let's say for password. Oh God, this screen is even increasing. And so there are some forms that you fill. You would see this label, right? You'd see something like first name. Then this next one will be enter first name here or enter password. Then if there's an error, you'd see the error message here, right? So this is what we are trying to visualize. Now, what I did is I created one of it. And after creating it, I just came to component on top of my screen and I added a component. So let me do that again. Let me create a rectangle outside. Let's say this rectangle is our input field, right? I have this rectangle. All I just did is I clicked on this rectangle and I created a component out of it that you can see this part where I just say create components and I just created a component out of it. That's my component. Now you can rename your component to call it form. Or maybe it's because I use input field. It's called input field or form. Anyone you want to call it, input field or form. So I have my form right here. After having my input field, what's the next thing I'm deciding to do? I'm now creating different variation of it by coming to these properties and I'm clicking on property, create property, and I'll create a variant of it. So once I create a variant of it, I just need to duplicate. Now in the duplicating, I will now get to give these different ones what I want to give them. So let's say, for instance, I want an icon to be here. Remember that I brought in an icon pack that I said I would give you the link to or download it. This is the icon pack. Now, this is one good thing about components. All of these icons are components. How did I know? Once you see a component, the color changes from your normal black to this purple. That's to show it a component. Now, the good thing about it is being a component is that you can change it or you can easily see it. So all I did is I came to my assets where all of those things are already a component. And you can come to your asset and you just search. Let's say I'm looking for login. I just need to search login because it's a component and they renamed it accordingly. So these are my login. So I just bring in the login and I'll put it inside this one, because this is what I want it to, I want this one to have an icon. So you can duplicate it as many as you want. I can duplicate the next one. And then I want this one to be a different color. Let's say I want this one to be error, and you can see it. You get. So this is like creating different variation that you would need in your design. So for a form, we'll need different variation. One, we need the one with placeholder. We need the ones without placeholder. This one is without placeholder. This one is without a status. This one is with a status and a label. You know that the label is first name, last name, email address, password. All of those things are labeled actually. So are we clear now? So let's get the I am clear part now. So I know that we are clear on this and we can move on. Okay, you can ask your question. The status, I had to hide the status because I don't need the status. I just need the status once. I don't need it more than once. You get, that's why I had to hide it in the second label. So all I did was to just click on it, and once you have any label, you can see, you can hide anything. So once I click on this, you can see this eye turner here. You just need to close the eye and everything will hide. You won't see it again. So that's what I did for the second one. This status is still there. The status is still there, but all I did was to hide it. You can see if I turn it on, it will come back, but I want to hide it. All right, so sorry, you can ask your question now. Sorry, who did I stop? You can ask your question now, please. Hello, Uma. Are you the one speaking?
Good morning, ma.
Yeah,
So
good
still on
morning.
this component, I have a question
Oh,
because
okay.
you said okay, different variation that we want to use in our design. So how you do it when you need to change, okay, like after creating different components and then you need to change probably the color. How will you how will I put it now? How will you locate the master component that you use in changing all other colors you have used? Something like that.
Okay. So if you want to change the master component, the first one is always the master component, right? So you just come to the master component, to the first one, and change it, and everything will change. You get?
Okay, okay, yes,
So
sir.
this is it. This is where you can change it. This is default, or you can name it master. And so let me see. This is default. This is label. Um, label. Label minus status. Then this is label minus status plus icon. So you can just change them. Label, or you can call the property label, or anyhow, as long as you be able to understand it. Label plus icon. So that's how I'm naming it. Now we'll be doing more of this, like we'll do more. I'm not going to stop at this. So we have the one with icon, right? Now the next one we can have is we can have input field without label. So I'll just get to without label but status. I'll still get to click on plus. I'll get to click on plus, and I can move this here. And this one is going to be without label. I'll hide the label. I would hide I would hide this. And what I need is I will now make the status visible. I need the status, so I can make the status visible. So I can have you just this is just you having different, like you get different variation. So let me duplicate this, and so I'll place it here down here. So for this, you can have, let's say I just want to have my success screen now. I want to have my success screen. So I can just turn everything that was hidden. So this is the one I want to turn on, so I can hide it back. So for this, I want to turn on my label. I want this to be on. This is the one I'm touching. So I'll open it, and I want my label to be on. I want my if I want any other thing to be on. So now the next thing I can do now is to change all of this. I would now want to change this to my error. So do you now get what we are doing with this? So I'll do the same thing for this what is it called? I'll do the same thing for this status. So I'll come to my status and I'll change my status color. You can see that I did not change my status color. All this while I've been doing using my status, I've not changed my status color. Let me see if I change my label color is black, but my status color, I did not change it. So I can now change my status color to black. And so doing more, what do you think we can do? We can now do more of this. Duplicate it, and let me just change this color to be warning, and duplicate the last one, duplicate the last one, and I'll change this one to be success. You can see how easy it is for me to just change it without any form of without any issue. So that's why this is very good. This is I have 7 variants out of this. Now the next one I need to do is I need to now do my buttons. Now for buttons, I'll be creating my buttons with auto layouts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now come here and I'll type buttons. So after typing the button, you know that I can have different button, right? So I'll just say, okay, let me change this color to my black color for now. And I'll change the text to my button text. Remember that we created a text for button. So I'll just make it my button text. You can see it here. It has changed. All I need to do is to add Shift A. After adding Shift A, I would add a fill color. So my fill color can be my primary. Let me do my primary color, and then my distance will be white. My text will be white. So I have this as my button. Now what I need to do is to set the things I need to set. My padding can be, let's say I want to give it 36 as my padding, and I want to give this 12 as my margin. Then I want to give it a corner radius, let's say 10, or I want to give it a 5. So I have this button, right? Now what's the next thing I need to do is I need to now create a component of all my buttons. So this is my primary button, and then I'm going to make this a hug content, and it's already hug content. Do you know why I'll make it hug content? So let's assume that what I have here is login to your account. Can you see what it's doing? It's expanding to contain the text that I have. Is expanding to take the text that I have. But imagine that I make this a fixed. You get to see if I make this a fix. So let me go back to button. Let me go back to same button. Button. So if I make this a fixed, for instance, let me make it a fixed. This is hog. Let me make it a fixed. If I make it a fixed and I start writing, login with my account, can you see that it's not expanding? So what do you think is the best thing to use here? The whole content. So now that we have our button is to create a component. The same way, come here, create a component. And all I need to do now is just to create a variant. Let me call this button. I just need to create a variant of my button. And then I have, this is my family button. This is my family button. So now I can now create different variation of it. So my secondary button, okay, this is supposed to be button, and this is secondary. Secondary. Now this is my family. This is default here. So for my secondary button, what do you think I'll change here? I'll change the color to be my secondary color. Now, different types of button to create. Remember we talked about clicked, we talked about over, we talked about disabled. Different button with just icon, button without or icon and all of that. So let's start creating all of those buttons. So I'll come here and I'll still duplicate this, and I'll say this is my default state. So let's go back to our secondary. So when our secondary button is so you see why those colors are important. So let me say I save this particular color, and I'll come to my button and I will name it to be what's it called? I'll just name it to be, where is that button text? Yeah, I'll just name this one to be over state. Over, or no, this should be clicked. So you can start creating different variation of it. So I can create the disabled state. For disabled state, I'm going to, I'll come here and I'll say disabled. Someone is knocking. And I'll come here and I'll say, and I'll make I'll make this one gray. And I'll say this is our inactive state when it's not active. So I'll make this one black, right? So this gray is not giving me the gray that I want. So let's change the gray color. Let's edit the gray color to something more dark or something that I can relate with. Let's see. So is this one better? Yeah, this is better. So I've changed my gray. Oh no. Remember what I said about changing. So anything you change, it's going to change here. Remember that that's the gray that we used for this particular one. So if we change it, it's going to change here. So let's look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach this color. I'll detach it and just add a color to it and just add the other gray so that it doesn't affect all the other ones that I've been working on. So now it's left for you to select to do the different things that you need to create. So let's leave it at this and let's go and use it in our design. Let's say we already have what we want for our design to be successful. This is not all, there are more that you can get, but for now, so this I'm just going to convert this to a component. So my logo, I'm just going to make it a component. So the reason why I'm making it a component, then I'll name it to logo so that I can use it We are done, right? We are done with everything we've been creating since. We are done with everything we've been creating since. So these are the things that we have here. And these are them. We have our logo, we have our let me call it style. So I can put my logo, I can drag my logo inside my style. So let me just carry my logo and bring it down here and put it inside my style. It's in my style already. So I can now come here to create. Is there any question so far? Okay, there's no question. So these are my designs now. So remember that I don't have a wireframe here. If not, I would have just converted it. So now that we have my style, I have created my style, right? So if I come to assets right now, assets, for instance, and I cancel all of this, I'll see all my assets. See, for local assets, you see all of those things that we created from under styles. You see all of them. You can see that we created multiple things, but what can we see? Just one, right? We can only see one. Now, if I bring out this button, all I need to do to change it is I just need to come to this part, this drop down, and I'll change it to all the buttons that I created, and it would change. So I don't need to have plenty of it. I just need one of it to change it. You get, so even for my form is just one. I would have here just one. And this one, I can now change it to all the ones that we created, the different ones that we created. So now let's start using them. Let's create our onboarding screen first for any app. So let me go to phone and I pick up 14 or 13 plus, anyone. So the first thing to do for onboarding screen is, let me go back. So there's something we need to get from Figma. So I'll go to figma.com. And then under Figma, I'll go and look for, I'll go to community. And I'll look for what we call status bar. So I need a status bar. So I'll just use this one. You can check for anyone you want. So let me open this one. So this is it. I'll just get to copy it, Control C, and I'll bring it back to my own design. And I'll paste it there. You can see that it's big. I'll just hold down shift and reduce it to my size. Oh, shift is not working. So which will work? Either shift or control should work. To zoom. Or all I need to do is to ungroup. I'll detach it and I'll I'll just copy them one after the other and bring it in. So this is so big. This is so big. So I'll reduce this. Where's the size? So you see what I'm going to do is uh I'm going to detach all of these things. So this one too, I'm going to detach it and ungroup. So now that I've successfully ungrouped everything, I can now reduce. Oh, okay. So this is not a text. So they did not make it a text. So let's see 45. Okay. So you can see it. I've successfully reduced it. Now it's left for this one. So this one, so I'll drag it out here and I'll reduce this one holding shift and see. So it's not working. So I'll get to detach them. So just right click. To detach anything, you just need to right click and detach. Right click and detach. And then I can delete this one and just reduce them to the size that I want. Control Z. So remove auto layout. So this is when you look for okay. So now I can now reduce this without issue. This is 37 by, so I'll do the same for this without issue. And I'll do the same for this. I'll reduce it without issue now. Oh, this is still, I need to ungroup this one before it will have sense. So I can now reduce it. So I can now shift A the same way we did shift A auto layout and reduce the spacing between them. So let's go back here and what can you notice? These things are not grouped. So I would have to group my battery. Let me group the battery itself. So I'll group everything together. I'll drag them and put it inside a group. So now that my battery is grouped, I can now add shift A. Please, who is drawing on my screen? Oh? And then I can reduce this to say 20 or 10 or 15. iPhone, please stop drawing on my screen. And oh, okay, so now that we have this, you can see that we have our status bar now. We have what we want. So the next thing is I'm going to now delete all of these ones. I don't need it again. So I'll come to my assets and I'll bring in my icon. And this is my splash. I'll reduce my icon, right? This is my splash screen. So let's say I decide to write the name of this chop chop, chop and go. So let's say this is the name of our food platform. So let me give it a size to be our body regular or our body regular bold. So I saved this thing twice. Wow. Regular bold. So let's assume that this is our logo, and then maybe I want to give it some color. I want to give some parts some color. So change the color to our black, and then I'll come here and I would have to now change some part of this to contain another color. And let's see, let's go with our primary color. So now that we are done with this, right? I'm done with this. I'll ensure that they are all centralized. So I'll ensure it's centralized, and I'll ensure this one is also centralized. So I can decide to add Shift A to make it seamless to center. Yeah. So this is our first screen. Control D. Then I go to the next screen and let's see, I carry this one off here. So you can decide to know. I don't know. I need to do it. So remember from our what's it called? So if you remember from our wireframe, there will be a picture here, then a text and another text. So let me go to this thing and search for food illustrations. So you can just get to look for illustrations that you use, any picture that you use for the design. So I think I like this. Let me copy that one, even if it's not clear. It's not going to be clear. So let's say this is the image I'm using. We then shift and increase it. And this is it. This is the image I want to use, for instance. So you can also create your images. So you can also create your images as components. So all I need to do now is to write my text and say food delivery fast or food fast. Anything I want to you can't hear anything. Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, ma, I can hear you, ma.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So if you can't hear me, then that means it's your network. So the next thing I'll do is I'll just write food, should I say fast delivery, food is prepared prepared in 5 minutes. So let's say this is what I want as my first text, and then I'll look for our header 2 bold, and that's it, or header 3. So I can make it our header 3. Our header 1, sorry. Our header 1 bold. So can be this. And then the next thing I need to do is I need to write the copy that I need. You know what they do now? The next text that will be there. So sometimes this is what I do. If I don't have any text here, I'll right click here, and I'll go to plugin. Then I'll go to my save plugins. You can see lorem ipsum, so I'll just click on lorem ipsum. And then it will ask you to select a layer. Then I'll select my text and I'll drag from where I want a text to be to the end of it. Then I'll now say auto generate. So it will generate a text for me. So now that I have my text, I want my text to be my normal body text. Remember that we choose a body text. So I want it to be our body text. So I'll just make it our body text, and um after making it our body text, I can now adjust all of these things by bringing this up for the bit. Then I'll be bringing it in. So but this text is too small, so I'll have to copy and paste, Control C and Control V. So I'll bring this, I'll drag it a bit and I'll centralize it. So you can really do it this. So there's something that is not working well, which is, so I'm going to click here and I'll come to this edit part. So you can see that the line spacing is not okay. So I can increase the line spacing by clicking on this where I have this auto, and I'll increase it a bit. And then I can delete this sectored one and make it so. So I can do it. It can be like this, or you can. So the one that I just deleted, I'll leave it, but I'll just reduce this so that more text will come in here. And I have my next text right here, right? So the next text is here and is on black, so pure black. So I'll give it my color. I'll give it my style. So our style that we already chose. So for this now, let me give it our other style, the one that we choose for text. This text primary. So what's the next thing that you think we need to have here? So there's something we did not do. We did not do those three dots that I did in class. So I can quickly do them here. So I just right click on it, 18, right? And I'll control D. So I'll duplicate it, then I'll use Shift A. Shift A, Shift and A. Shift A, and then I can duplicate the next one. And the spacing between them is too much. So I can reduce the spacing between them to be 10 here. So I'll do the first one. I'll give the first one, let's say the color that I want, the primary color. And then centralize it. So what's the last thing we need? We need one more thing, which is our button. We need one more thing in our button. Now this size is okay, so I need my button, so I'll just drag my button here, and I'll say so this button is small, so I can increase my button from here. You can see that even as I'm increasing the button, it's still maintaining the same center. My text, they're still maintaining the same center. So I have this this is 42. So I can this is 42, yeah. So I can also increase this size down here to make it 60. So let me make it 60. So remember that if you have your, what's it called? We did not even do it. So let me do it here. Layout grid. where I set this to be color because it's a mobile phone. I'm using 6. My margin is going to be 20, and my gutter is 22. So that means I can my button can extend like this. My button can stay from here. So yeah. So this can stay here, and I can actually increase this image. I can increase the image. So let me turn this off because I already have it here. I can increase the image. I can add shift A to this to 13. So I'll make it 12. I'll make it 12 or 11. Then I can do the same for this. I'll drag this into this auto layout, and I have this auto layout, and I have this. So I can do shift A and align it to the center. So the shift A did not work because my what's it called? My image. So let me crop my image to remove excess white space that I don't want. So let me crop this out, and also this, and also this. So I have this center. So this plus this shift A. You can see now that it worked. And this is 50, so I'll reduce it to like 20 or 25. And I'll just send this to the middle using this. So keep it in the middle. And then there's one more thing that we've not done, which is skip. So I'll just get to type my text. So I'll copy this, Control C, and I'll bring it down here. So this text should now be next, right? Next, and I'll paste this one here, Control V, and I'll reduce this to our link. You can see how the design is simple, and I would say this is next. You can see how simple this is. Skip, sorry, this is skip. It's simple because or is it 12 I should use, or let me use 14. Skip. So I'll change the color to black, and I'll send it to this part. I'll bring it down to it's here. I'm actually done with our onboarding screen. So with this now I can increase my image. I can increase my image from here. Hold down shift, expand the image, and let's say this is it, and centralize it. I have my skip, I have everything, virtually everything I want for my onboarding. So the next thing I can do is now if you made your images your components, all you need to do is to double click on this and just a drop down and change it to the next image. But actually we are done with the onboarding screen. Let's play this to see. So before I play it, this is what I'll do. I'll come to prototype here, and I'll change this show prototype settings. And then, okay, we already have a phone that it's selected. So let's see what we've done so far. Yes, I just duplicated it. So all you need to do is to change your text. You don't need to change your text, the text here, and the picture. So let's see what we have here. Can you see my screen? So there's something here. This skip is too small. So what are we going to do? We need to increase the size of this skip. So I'll come back to design, and then I'll just increase the size of the skip. The size is small, so I'll just increase it to 16. So you see that the way I'm doing it is the wrong way, right? All I would have done is to go to the skip, to the text itself. And I'm doing it like this because I don't have plenty. I have just this two. But all I would have done is just to go to the text itself and change the size from 15 to 16, and everything will change. So you can see now, this is better. So this is our onboarding screen. Yes, the network bar is actually, you can push it to the right, and this one also, I'll push it to, yeah, they are all the same place now. So let me do the same thing for here. Okay, guys, is there any question?
Hello, ma.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sorry. So this is the onboarding page, right?
Yes, what you did with your what's it called? Your wireframe.
Okay. So which means for
Yeah,
the
you just
wireframe
have to
now,
now.
this thing is maybe is almost going to be the same thing.
Yeah, where you
Okay,
have your
after
image for your
yeah,
wireframe, you just need to look for image and put there. Where you
just
have
the
your
image
other
is the
text.
only
Yes.
image and the text is the only
If you have a button, so you add a button.
okay. Okay, but okay. I'm trying to okay.
Now let me show you how this old stuff works now. So let me go back to my assets, for instance, and say my company we've changed our color, right? We've decided that our color is no longer this primary color that we used. Yeah. And I want to come here and change the button. I can just come here and change the button color from the primary color that we decided. Say, okay, let's not just use this one for our button again. Let's use this color for our button. Or no, I have that color already, so let me not use it. So let's use our secondary color for our button. I also have my secondary color. So what color don't I have? Okay, this primary 50. Or let's say we want to now change to orange, for instance. If I come back to my design, one thing you see is everything has changed without even me touching it. You get. So let me go back to asset and change it back. And if I come back to asset and I decide to change the color back to what we have. So if they come and they say they don't like the color that you use, change the color. You can go and change the color over and over again. And all the places you used it will change for you without even you touching it. But if you don't have this, what you're not going to do is you now start doing it one after the other till you get to the last screen.
I have a question, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I actually missed this part of the button. And my question is, so this button, was it like created, you just created the rectangle and then wrote the word button in it, or it's like an automatic button or
Okay,
something?
so
I
what I
missed
did
that.
is this is what I did. This is what I did. To create my button, I just came to this place and I wrote down a button. After writing it, I gave it the text that we use, that's our button text, and then I did Shift A. For Shift
Oh,
A, then I just added a color to it. I added a color to it, or you can change the color from here, anyhow you want to do it. And then the next thing I did is I increased this size, the padding, and I increased the margin. So you can either increase it for here or you leave it. And then I added what I want to add again, a corner radius. So like if I want it to be rounded, 100% corner radius, I have my rounded button, right? And that's what I did, and I just made it a component and duplicated it to have different variation of it.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Oh, I get, ma. Thank you,
Yeah.
ma.
Yeah, welcome. Is there any other question? Any question again? Any question? Any question? All right. So, what's going to happen? Is there any question? I can't see any. Okay, that means there's no question. So this is what we are going to do. We're supposed to have a break. We're supposed to go on break by 11:30, but we did not go. So, so this is what we are going to do. You have to create your style guide. Now, I want you to go online, look for sample of style guide. You can create the same thing I have. What should be your style guide? We've done components, so you should do your component, you should do your button, you should do your typography. So let me share this particular thing here. Let me move file and share it to team project. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this link now. Copy link. So all you need to do is to come where you see my colors. Just sorry, not my color actually. Where you see what's it called? My icons. Just copy that icon like the whole full pack. Copy it and use it for yourself. That's the Figma link. So we are would. So I don't know how to do it. So okay, so I'm coming. Let me request for attendance. We're just doing a few minutes. Let me pause this and request for attendance.